So I started playing Blizzard's games back in 2007 with World of Warcraft, and I pretty much played every game they released since then, and I also played some of their older titles later on, like Diablo 2 and Warcraft 3. I've met some of my oldest online friends from these games. They helped me socialize a lot better and helped me cope with a lot of stress over the years. Some of the players in these games are some of the nicest, most genuine people, and you would never meet them in real life in 100 years. But Blizzard games are often home to some of the biggest dickheads on the planet. You either find people who suck at the game and don't want to learn how to play, or people who are super good at the game but they are gigantic assholes who judge you all the time for every tiny mistake you make. It's these people that drive you so crazy that you end up becoming desperate for literally anyone else to play with. So whenever you find a guy or gal who isn't a dick fart and is actually kind of good at the game, it's like discovering a mermaid or an angel. Funny thing about that with Heroes of the Storm, I was talking about the metagame in my last video and how I learned it and got really good. At one point in time, I was on a bad streak of losing games, and I got into a winning one with a group of great people. I added them to my friends list on a whim, and not only were they tons of fun to play with, but they also helped me learn the meta and taught me how to get good at it. The problem is that many players come from what I call the special snowflake gene pool that Blizzard games happen to attract. Going back to those 4 to 5 games out of 10 that suck, it almost always comes down to 1 or 2 asshats that are completely boning our team over. Some often give up easily and just throw the game. I have seen comebacks from dire situations, and these ass clowns will suicide and feed the enemy team way before we hit those points really early on in the game. They could die one time due to a team miscommunication and say, well, that's it, this team sucks. GG, we're only 5 minutes in and everyone sucks. I'm gonna just feed them now. Oftentimes they would do it for really petty reasons, like getting into an argument over who's playing the game better and basically having a dick measuring contest. Oftentimes these guys just suck at the game and they might be competent enough to know that they can still win, but they throw the game anyway out of spite. It's not like the other side of the coin is any better on the people who are actually good at the game. People will talk on and on about why you are so bad. Now, everyone is guilty of trash talking, myself included, but I almost always do it in a private conversation. If I feel a player isn't good, I usually give suggestions politely, and for the most part it works. You can teach a player better if you don't be a dick to them. But there are some idiots that are beyond repair. The game requires almost no skill to get to level 40, just time. You can bumble your way up to that level pretty easily. This is all in the game's casual quick match mode. I tried doing competitive with groups and it's even worse. You have higher stakes because stats matter more, yet you have more people making the same mistakes, if not more so than they do in quick match. I know competitive mode won't automatically make players better, and good on some people for trying it out and trying to commit to get better, but like I said, you won't get better automatically. Now, like I've said before, I'm no stranger to the Blizzard or MOBA player bases at all. But when you mix a toxic player base of a genre with a crossover of titles that also have really toxic player bases, you get one of the worst online communities in a major MOBA, when nearly half of your games make you rage. When you are reading someone and how they are posting in the chat, and you know they are going to start feeding or flaming, and you know there's going to be a problem, its predictability gets tiring at that point. I really hope the new leveling system balances and weeds out certain players and groups because, as my hero's friend put it, I can't get any pleasure out of this game anymore without getting enraged. If nothing is done about the matchmaking, more and more players are going to group up. The game is already considered one of the worst MOBAs you can solo queue for, and with more players trying to avoid the toxicity by grouping up, solo queuing will be even more difficult. I know I'm going to have bad games every now and then, but when nearly half our games are unenjoyable, even grouped up, it's a real problem. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. I'm out.